the Urban Mail Show.
Yeah.
Where else would you go?
Where would you go?
Rain, sleet, hell, or snow.
Yeah.
It's the Urban Mail Show.
Let's talk about reality TV. Gary, I want to start with you because you researched the topic, and I think it's a good question because if you look at the history of reality TV, we've been portrayed negatively since day one, with the exception of, in some cases, early on, we would see a Khalid Muhammad on Donahue, or we would see a Dr. Francis Quest Welsing. Like, they would give our black scholars and our black leaders a platform to talk, even though it was, a completely different time in U.S. history. But today's reality TV is kind of different. It's more created around the illusion that what we're seeing is reality, but it's not. Most of it is
reality.
But the big difference here is that with this kind of reality TV, when someone gets a black eye, it's a real black eye. That's not a production. They're not faking that. There's real fighting. It's real tussling. So from an entertainment perspective, do you think that reality TV has a place? Or do you think that it's, detrimental to the African American community in particular, and that we should reassess the attention that we give it?
I mean, to be honest, man, based on the ratings that it receives every week, it definitely has a place. I don't agree with it because the youth and even some of the adults, they're following that example. Like, I was just looking at this video today on Facebook. It was streaming these two young girls fighting. This one chick, she was walking down the street minding her business, and this one girl was jumping up in her face saying, "Get off your broke game. Look at these $200 J's I got on. Go get your hair did. Get off that broke game." She took 3 minutes of that abuse, and then she finally, went upside the girl's head, which I was proud of. But I'm normally not into that stuff, but yeah, and they're getting all this stuff from these reality shows. That's what they're basing their lives on. That's the standard for them now. Like with me back in the day, from what I was watching things like Living Single. I wanted to be an investment banker like Kyle Barker. He dressed up, he spoke well, he's college educated. That's what I wanted to be. But now all they have is these jump offs, this setting the example for them. I don't think it's really a place for that in society, but what else is there for them to watch?
All right, good point, and I won't argue that. There are some clear-cut examples of where young women, young black women in particular, are following in the footsteps of questionable behavior that they see on reality TV. Tradot, let me go to you. It's indisputable that it's reality TV is having a negative impact on today's youth. I think that's not up for debate. The million-dollar question is, who is responsible?
We loosely speak on this topic all the time with different angles. We're responsible for raising our own children first, which we haven't done a good job at for the last probably 2 decades, because we're doing worse than we were doing back, before, integration and all of that. We're not raising our own kids, and that leads up to this. And you have certain people, the powers that be, that are happy with this. They sit there and laugh at it because our youth a lot of times are being raised by the TV. They're being raised by the internet because we have to be going away from home just to make a living. It all starts in the homes in our communities. And a lot of these videos that we speak of that are being filmed, there are people our age filming these kids do this stupidity, laughing.
Yep.
Yeah. You got 4-year-old, 5-year-olds fighting and cursing and using profanity. There's people our age filming it, cheering them on. So the problem really is to start from home. We got to start from home. Reality TV is going to be there. I don't think it's ever going to stop. But we need some kind of balance too, though. There's freedom of speech and all that, so we can't take them off the air. But we need some quality on TV also. Where the black families at? Where's the black man that even comes home from work? We don't see none of that.
Let me ask you this question, Lenny. How do parents compete with reality TV because they're presenting everything that these little kids want. 15 minutes of fame, couple $100,000, fly clothes, the drama all around the world. How does the average working parent, whether single or two-parent home, how do they compete with the allure of that 15 minutes of fame that Hollywood is creating and putting in front of these kids? Is it too powerful?
Be a parent. Monitor what your kids watching. My kids don't watch reality TV. They're not allowed to watch reality TV. Now, I'm not saying that my daughter don't hear about it in school and pick up little lingo that other kids is using from these reality shows, like you ain't about that life and you a non-motherfucking factor and shit like that. They pick up all that shit from the reality shows. But my children ain't allowed to watch that. You know what I mean? They can't watch none of them. Like, you know what I mean? And that's how parents control it, by being fucking parents. You don't sit down next to your child and watch Drea and this broad lock ass on TV at 9 o'clock and laugh about it with your child. You know what I mean? Like, I can watch it because I'm a grown ass man. Like, I'm not gonna watch that and go outside and say, you ain't about that life, throw your hands up and want to fight somebody over some bullshit or try to emulate reality television. But kids at impressionable ages, you need to monitor what they doing as far as their computer intake, their TV intake, and all the rest of that shit.
Gary, let me ask you this. Is it true or is it not true that reality TV is putting on the exact type of programming that America wants to see? Is it true or not true?
It's true. It's like I said, based on the ratings, they keep renewing the shows every damn year. So yeah, it's true. They're putting on exactly what we want to see. You know, black people acting a fool, bringing drama, and that's reflected on how other races see us. You know, if I had never met a black person, I'm over in China and I see, you know, them on these black women on this show acting a fool, I'm gonna think all of them act that way. But it's all about the ratings. It's all about what people are tuning in to see. So yeah, true.
Yeah, what about the ratings?
So if this is the kind of television that we give ratings to, is it fair to say that we can't hold these production companies in Hollywood or actors or these ratchet females, quote unquote, that we see on TV, we can't hold them accountable because they're pretty much acting out in a way that we like to see, that we find entertainment in?
It's like a train wreck, man.
You can't blame them.
But people have come down on females such as Shawnee O'Neal. They want to hold her responsible for the ratchetness that people see on reality TV. But she, based on our agreement on the fact, she's providing programming that America wants to see.
You want to
And I
go
have a
after
better
Mona?
question for you. Who in particular wants to see this kind of programming? Is it black folks?
Black and white.
It's mostly us that watch it, though. It's mostly us that watch it, really.
Yep.
A lot of women, most of their viewers, I think, are probably women. And the thing with those shows is, if you don't act ratchet enough, your contract won't get renewed for the next season. So these women, they try to act ratchet, and they really, really try to bring it because that's how they get paid. If you're a boring individual on these reality shows, you won't be back for that next season.
Yep.
Absolutely right.
They get paid to wild out, entertain. That's what they get paid. A lot of women love to watch it. I'm on Facebook trolling with them sometimes to get the little debates or whatever. They love that stuff. They love it. Some
White
of them
folks
emulate their lifestyle. Some of them just laugh at it. But some of them emulate what they see.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of them think that's what relationships are all about.
Okay, so I have a question. I'm gonna put this to you, Lani. It's a very difficult question to answer, just in my opinion. But I'm gonna throw it at you because I want to hear what you have to say. What behavior exists today that didn't exist prior to reality television? And we're going way back. I mean, before the real world. So let's say what behavior in the African American so-called African American community exists today that didn't prior to reality TV shows like The Real World?
I don't think there's no activity that didn't exist. I just think it's portrayed more now. I think it's more publicized now.
A cell phone.
Huh?
Because everyone has a cell phone.
Right. Everybody's paparazzi now.
Right.
Everybody's paparazzi now. And I mean, I even think to the fact of reality shows and TV opened the doors to more acceptable gay life in America. Like, there's always been gay people in America, granted, but there used to be like certain areas where the gay people would live and they would exhibit publicly being together. You didn't see, when we was growing up, you didn't see two men walking up the block holding hands and all that, unless you was in Greenwich Village or Boys Town in Chicago, or you know what I mean, places like that. With reality TV and it being out there so openly and all these queer eyes for the straight guy and all this shit, I think it's become more acceptable to people, and people not afraid to be in public with it no more. So if anything, I don't think nothing is started since reality TV going on. I think it's just been publicized and accepted more since reality television.
All right, cool. Gary, I'm going to ask you this question. How would TV be better? Or how would our communities be better? Answer either question. How would TV be better without reality TV? Or how would our communities be better without Real Housewives of Atlanta, Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop? Really, how would things be better without those shows?
I'll be honest with you, man. It just it takes away the stereotype that people actually see. It's out there now, so it's not going to go anywhere. And so if we take it away, it's still going to be there. The stereotype is still going to exist. But if you take it away, all you're going to do is you're just going to come up with something else, man. It's not gonna be any different. Nothing's gonna change. Like the fella said, it all starts at home. If they're not being a good parent, with the shows on, they're not gonna be one with the shows off. So it all starts at home. Doesn't matter whether the show's on or not.
And let me say something quick about
but the women on these shows are reality TV. Shows. That's the sad thing.
What's that?
Yeah, that's true.
Repeat that, please.
He said the women on the show are mothers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That is sad.
That's true.
Yeah, the women on the show, they're parents. So we're talking about starting the home. The parents are the ones that are on these shows.
Yep.
I got you. Lanique, you had a point you wanted to make?
I was saying, damn, what was I about to say? Reality TV is never going anywhere. The networks will not go back to the days of Friends where you had 6 cast members, you paying $1 million per episode for 15 episodes a year. They're not doing that no more. When you can have a reality show and maybe trick a meal to all 10 people you got on the show, forget them days of paying 6 people $1 million per episode. So as far as regular programming, you don't see good TV programming in the regular primetime hours no more. All the good shows like the Scandals and all that everybody watch and talk about is pretty much late night shows. Those come on 10 o'clock. Like we had the Cosby Show, we had, like you were saying, Living Single, we had Different World. Like these were primetime shows with putting blacks in good positions to where it made you think, okay, I can grow up and be a doctor and marry a lawyer and we own a house in Brownstone in Brooklyn and have kids that ain't criminals and in jail and running the streets and all that shit. Like, tell me a show now we got like that.
Ain't ones.
In Trey, that I'm gonna throw this to you. In one of the articles, Michelle Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, was quoted as saying, "It's okay to watch a show," and I'm paraphrasing. "It's okay to watch a show like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but just know that it's not reality. It's for entertainment." Is it possible that although we see young women in particular acting out the behavior that they see on the Kardashians and other reality shows, is it possible that they're just tired of being played, that they realize that their chances of being like Kim Kardashian, maybe taking a sex tape route and getting a rapper, or taking a basketball wives route and getting pregnant by a ball player, is more realistic than becoming the first lady of the United States, when there's only one first lady, Michelle Obama, but there's thousands and thousands of Shawnee O'Neills.
Absolutely. It's been, was that directed to me or anybody in particular?
No, that was for Trey Dot.
Oh, my fault.
Do you think that young ladies are tired of being played because they realize that it's easier to be like a basketball wife than Michelle Obama?
How are young ladies being played, though?
What's that?
How are young ladies being played?
Because we sell, and I say that because we sell young folks this dream that you can be whatever you want to be. Yes, it's possible. Anyone can be the president of the United States that was born in this country. It's possible. But let's talk probability. Let's talk practicality.
I see black people as just being lazy as far as that question is concerned. That's the same thing with brothers not wanting to take the time to get an education and either be an entrepreneur or get within a company and grind their way to the top. They want to make that fast money. The same way with a lot of females, they just want that money handed to them because they're pretty and they got a nice shape and they can do a few things in the bedroom. That's just being lazy. They want that quick money. I don't see anybody, just they don't want to work for nothing no more. Everything is a quick fix. This is why a lot of times young girls get attracted to older men, because that man's already established. They don't want to work for nothing. They want to hop on something that's already popping off. That's how I see it. And a lot of these reality shows, they accelerate that process because these women watch it. They look at that woman, they think, I look better than her. So they go to all of these parties where the NBA athletes are at, where all the rappers are at. At my lower level as an artist, I done smashed many chicks thinking they had a come up coming. I ain't telling them no different, when I was living like that. A lot of women looking for a come up because they lazy. They want an easy way out. And a lot of reality shows, a lot of these women, they getting their little businesses on the side.
Let me
because they're intelligent. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, because you said that black people are lazy. Not going to affirm that or dispute that because it's an opinion. But what I
mean that as a generalization, I was saying as far as the people you're referring to within the question.
Right. With in sales, for example, there's a term called low-hanging fruit, where salespeople will try to go after the easiest sale that's right in front of them. And it's oftentimes encouraged by their managers. Don't you think the same thing is happening with between these mothers and these little girls, saying, yes, you can be like Michelle Obama, but it's more likely that you're going to marry someone like your dad or a middle-class man? So just be realistic.
What's wrong with being middle class, though?
What's that?
What's wrong with being middle class? What's wrong with being middle class?
Nothing,
what's wrong with being middle class?
Nothing is wrong with it, but what I'm saying is, could it be an American phenomenon where we although we have dreams and aspire to these lofty goals, we oftentimes go for the low-hanging fruit, what's easy, what's in front of our face. And reality TV is the low-hanging fruit for young urban females.
Yo, it's been groupies since day one. It's been groupies in every genre of music, in every genre of sports. It's been groupies forever. They're just being publicized now. It's always been basketball groupies that's pregnant and having babies and getting checks since before Shawnee O'Neal decided to put the camera on them.
But they wasn't getting the magnitude of money that they're getting now, though. These chicks is getting paid for real now.
Right, because now athletes is making more money.
Back then, these chicks is getting paid a whole lot. You got chicks getting 20 grand a month, which is ridiculous. For I don't know what kind of Pampers they using.
You know what I mean?
But it's a hustle. But these athletes need to know better also. These athletes need to know better. Paul George is getting caught catfish, seems like every week now.
By a dude.
Why you online trolling?
Allegedly.
Yeah, okay. Allegedly. We can say that all day. Well, he's allegedly doing too much.
I will agree, just based on the number of headlines recently. Gary, let's close out, but let me ask you this, and we'll go back to the topic: is reality TV reinventing today's black youth? Based on what we discussed today, do you think that reality TV has the power to shape urban culture?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's just like how you mentioned earlier with Jay-Z. Like, I know I was influenced by what Jay-Z and Nas and all them were saying back in the day, and that was just music. Now they have TV to go on, because I was out there trying to get throwbacks and trying to get, drink Cristal and all that stuff. But what you're seeing on TV now, they're trying to dress like the women, they're trying to act like the women, they're using the same lingo. Hell, not even just the women, it's the boys too. They're trying to act just like Jim Jones and Stevie J. They're trying to play women just like they are. So it's definitely shaping how women and black males are viewed on TV and how they're going to act in society. It's sad, but it's true.
Let me add something to that. Growing up, churches had a extreme power. I grew up in the church. I'm a member of a new church I deal with now. There's a lot of power that churches used to have. Now, and there might be more. To my knowledge, there's 2 reality shows that are somewhat church-based. You have the Daughters of the Ministers, and you had the other one with the ministers, and they got homosexual tendencies all over the show. So now they're publicly taking the strength away from even the churches. It's like you're publicly ridiculing the black church right there on TV with the reality shows. And that's just crazy. That's ridiculous to me. Growing up, that was one thing that was sacred. That was one thing where there were deacons in the church that would build with the young men. Now you got reality shows murdering that. And they're just getting started. Getting started.
So let me ask you this, Trey Dot, since I got you. Could we just as easily say that reality TV is showing today's black youth what they should not be doing? Isn't it just as easy to say that?
It does. It is easy to say that, but it's no different from when the movie Scarface came out. A lot of people saw that movie and wanted to hustle. I saw that movie and showed I didn't want to hustle, even though I did do some things, but it also showed me if I keep doing this, eventually I'm going to die. Mm-hmm. But everybody didn't see the final picture of that. They saw the good part. So a lot of people watch reality TV, they see the fun, they see the limos, they see the partying, they see the fancy dresses, they see the men with all these exotic women. That's what they see. They don't see the downfall. All these reality stars, give them a few years, they all going to fall off, whether it's the drugs or it's to some other kind of fatality. It's not going to last.
So ain't half of them getting arrested now anyway?
Exactly. They're doing that right now. There you go, Gary, right there. That money ain't meant to have, all money ain't good money. And that bad money don't usually end too sweet. And I'm a witness to that.
Lonnie, let me end with you. What, out of all the sea of reality TV shows, which one that you would keep?
Out of all the reality shows, which one would I keep? I would keep them all.
Yeah, let me hear that.
I would keep them all. I wouldn't get rid of none of them. For what? It's because you take basketball wives off TV, chicks gonna stop hoeing and chasing basketball players and trying to get pregnant by them. You take motherfucking the black church joint.
Yeah, the blueprint is sick. It's on YouTube and everything now.
It was already there. That's why they put it on TV. This has been happening. Like I've been saying, like it I wouldn't take none of them off. Love and Hip Hop, ain't no love or hip hop on the show. But you watch it every week because Stevie J and Peter Guns is the creep life presidents, and it's funny to watch them. It's like a train wreck. You can't pass it without looking at it, man. You gotta look, man. It is what it is. But these are people who was doing this before the camera.
They're bringing your boy Chi Ali on now.
Yeah, wow. I heard. Yeah, he came home from murder. But
in defense, man, the T.I. and Tiny show at least has some positive aspects. I give them that.
Right. That's a good one.
I can kind of deal with that show because I enjoy seeing him with his kids. And I think that is.
I think he do well as a father.
Yeah, especially an artist being with his kids like that. Yeah, he does put in the work with them kids. What he does outside of the home sometimes is out of control, but he's with them kids.
Right.
He ride hard for them kids, and I love that.
Yeah.
Trey Dot, 5 years from now.
I'm surprised it caught on like he did, really.
Yep.
Trey Dot, question: 5 years from now, when we look back,
Reality TV?
how much do you think reality TV is going to have changed culture within the span of those 5 years?
5 years from now, I see it being on a major network. One of them shows I see making a major network. And I see, I see it affecting our communities to a point where it's noticeable. Like now it's affecting our communities, but it's not noticeable to a lot of people. I see it really, really being noticeable because it's going to hit the major networks. Because it's too popular on these cable networks, I see a major network snatch it up. And I see one of these reality stars probably end up becoming somewhat of a star as far as a movie or whatever, what have you. It's going to eventually happen because you have certain reality stars that are making $1 million a year. Like that chick Nene from Atlanta, she's making over $1 million a year right now.
Yep.
Yeah, Nene Lee.
So eventually it's going to hit major networks, and nobody's going to care until it really, really starts damaging the white community. I mean, without even pulling the race card, nobody's going to care until it starts affecting the white communities. And what's going to happen after that 5 year sprint you're speaking on, it's going to start trickling into their communities also when it hits the major networks. It's going to happen. But like I said, always say, we got to start at home and raise our own kids and start from there. We got to get our communities back. We got to take our communities back.